Africa wakes under the early orange sun as dust swirls across open roads. A rooster crows somewhere near a cluster of mud brick homes. The air smells of damp earth mixed with distant engine fumes. A woman balances a basket of vegetables on her head, moving steadily toward a market already alive with chatter. Children in bright uniforms dart between motorcycles and handcarts, their laughter rising above the clatter of traffic. But then the scene shifts. A high-energy montage flashes across the screen like a heartbeat. Congested roads, endless lines of fuel-thirsty buses coughing black smoke into the morning sky. Gas pumps choke on queues that stretch for blocks as men wipe sweat from their brows. Engines growl. Horns blare. Tempers flare. And then silence. A sleek, silver bus glides into view as if time slowed down just for it. Its surface gleams like a polished mirror, reflecting the rising sun in a beam that blinds for a second. The shape is futuristic, aerodynamic, and yet unmistakably practical. A 24-seater that whispers across tarmac like a ghost of tomorrow. No vibration. No exhaust. Just motion. Villagers stop in their tracks. Some shade their eyes with calloused hands. A young boy drops a mango and doesn't even notice as it rolls away. Because what he's seeing shouldn't be possible. A bus moving without smoke, without sound, without even a driver shifting gears. It hums softly like a secret only the earth can hear. Imagine a bus that never needs fuel, never needs charging, costs less than a second-hand sedan. In a world suffocating under the weight of oil dependency, someone just sliced through the chains. And that someone is Maxwell Chikumbutso. Cut to a figure standing tall against the metallic frame of his invention. Maxwell wears no lab coat, no gleaming suit. Just a simple blue shirt rolled to his elbows and a quiet confidence in his eyes. Behind him, the bus glows like a vision carved out of steel and audacity. Camera flashes strobe like lightning across the Harare skyline. Journalists push forward, microphones raised, questions flying like arrows. When did you build this? How does it move? Is it real or a trick? Maxwell doesn't flinch. He smiles slowly, as if he's been waiting years for this moment. This bus, he says, his voice low but firm, is Africa's future. Cut to headlines spinning across the screen like a roulette wheel. A $5,000 self-powered bus unveiled in Zimbabwe. The invention the oil giants never saw coming. The machine that could rewrite the laws of energy. Skeptics scoff in boardrooms oceans away. But here, in the beating heart of Africa, something unstoppable has begun. Inside the bus, the air feels different. Cool. Silent. No dashboard cluttered with blinking gauges. Just a smooth glass console glowing with soft blue light. The seats smell of new leather and ambition. Outside, the wheels rest on cracked asphalt scarred by years of heavy diesel trucks. And yet this bus will glide over those scars without leaving any of its own. Because inside its belly is a secret engine. A system so radical, most engineers called it impossible until now. A self-sustaining energy loop born not in Silicon Valley or a German lab, but in a modest workshop in Harare. It's called the Greener Power Unit, or GPU. Not a battery. Not a solar cell. Something else entirely. It feeds on frequencies, whispers of energy scattered across the air, and turns them into motion. Think of it as a hunter, silent, patient, always feeding as it moves. No grid. No wires. Unlimited range. The dream that powered science fiction yesterday now hums beneath this bus today. And its price? $5,000. Not $5 million. Not $50,000. $5,000, the cost of a used sedan coughing smoke on Nairobi streets. For that price, a taxi driver can own one. A school can buy one. A farmer can transport goods without bleeding profits into a fuel pump. And that is why this story matters. Because in Africa, transport isn't just about getting from A to B. It's about survival. It's about opportunity. It's about dignity. For decades, the continent has carried the weight of second-hand imports. Cars older than the drivers, buses patched with hope and rust, motorcycles choking on bad fuel. And every kilometer costs a dream. Until now. We cut back to the launch event. The bus stands like a silent giant, its silver skin gleaming under the harsh Harare sun. People crowd around, murmuring like worshippers at a shrine. Some take photos. Some just stare. Because they know history doesn't announce itself with fireworks. Sometimes it whispers on four wheels. A voice breaks the hush. "Start it," someone says. Maxwell nods to his engineer, a young woman in a bright yellow jumpsuit. She taps the console. No roar of ignition. Just a soft hum, like the sound of rain on distant tin roofs. And then, slowly, the bus moves. It rolls forward with the grace of a river, wheels kissing the road as if gravity itself is in awe. No smoke. No stutter. Just motion. For a second, time freezes. Then cheers erupt like a dam breaking. People clap, whistle, shout words swallowed by the roar of hope. Because they know they're not just watching a bus move. They're watching the ground shift beneath an entire continent. The convoy begins its first official route. 50 kilometers of unpredictable African roads lie ahead. Urban traffic snarls like an impatient serpent as motorcycles weave through narrow gaps. Vendors shout prices for bananas and roasted maize while dodging honking minibuses. Diesel fumes thicken the air like a gray curtain, but the silver bus moves through it untouched. Inside, the ride feels unreal. No gear shifts. No vibrations rattling the bones of the passengers. Just a constant velvety hum that feels like breathing inside a dream. Maxwell sits near the front, his hands folded calmly on his lap. Reporters murmur into handheld recorders, their voices heavy with disbelief. "How is it possible?" one whispers. A cameraman leans forward, capturing every flicker of light on the glass console. The driver, a young man named Tendai, grins as if holding a secret too big for words. His hands rest lightly on the steering wheel, barely moving. The road tilts upward into a long incline, a hill that would normally choke a heavily loaded bus. But this machine climbs without strain. Its speed remains steady, its whisper unchanged. Passengers glance at each other with wide eyes as if expecting a sudden stall. It never comes. At the crest of the hill, the city falls away behind them, a sprawl of rusted rooftops and satellite dishes glinting in the sun. Ahead, the countryside stretches open like a green ocean rippling under the wind. Acacia trees stand like sentinels on the horizon, their shadows long and thin. The road narrows, winding past clusters of mud huts and corrugated iron shacks. Children run barefoot along the roadside, waving frantically at the futuristic beast gliding past. Their laughter echoes like music carried on the wind. A farmer looks up from his field, leaning on his hoe, his brow furrowed in confusion. No smoke. No smell of burning diesel. Just silence broken by birdsong. The bus coasts through a village square where old minibuses rust under makeshift tarps. Drivers pause mid-conversation, their cigarettes dangling, eyes fixed on the impossible. One man spits into the dust and mutters something only the wind hears. The journey presses on. Over ruts. Over potholes yawning like hungry mouths. Still no tremor, no mechanical groan, no complaint from the silent giant. Inside, passengers take turns whispering into phones, voices trembling with excitement. "You won't believe this," says one, his eyes wet with something that looks like hope. The hum beneath their feet is constant, like a heartbeat too deep to hear but strong enough to feel. The dashboard glows softly, its numbers unwavering, energy cycling endlessly like a serpent swallowing its tail. The greener power unit works without pause, drawing whispers of force from a universe that never runs dry. No charging station needed. No stop for fuel. The bus is its own wellspring, and that truth ripples through the cabin like an unspoken prayer. By the time they reach the halfway mark, the skeptics have fallen silent. Not because their doubts are gone, but because their words have run out. They stare instead, eyes reflecting the impossible rolling on four wheels beneath them. The last leg of the journey snakes through rocky highlands where goats leap across jagged slopes. Even here, where diesel engines wheeze and sputter, the bus sails smooth as silk. The incline steepens to a punishing angle. Still, no falter. The silver beast surges forward like a tide that knows no retreat. When they crest the final hill, the valley opens like a green mouth drinking the afternoon light. Fields stretch for miles. Villages dot the landscape like beads on a forgotten string. And down there, a ribbon of asphalt gleams, waiting to be conquered. The bus doesn't hesitate. It glides downward like a king descending to claim his throne. At the finish line, a small crowd waits, their faces bright with expectation. Phones rise like a forest of eager arms. As the bus rolls to a stop, silence falls, a silence so deep you can hear a leaf skid across the dirt. Then, an explosion of sound. Cheers. Applause. Songs breaking out in Shona and Debily, voices twining into a single rope of joy. Maxwell steps out slowly, his shoes crunching on gravel. He lifts his gaze to the crowd, to the cameras, to the sky burning orange with sunset fire. And in that moment, you know history has bent. Not tomorrow. Not someday. Today. Because this is not just a machine. It's a key turning in the lock of a continent's destiny.